Hello. How's it going? Yeah, it's Friday night, I know. Actually, I say I know like I knew. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know until you told me it was Friday night. But, it's whatever. I don't normally drink Coke before you ask. I asked for a can of Coke with my Uber Eats and I got this, so now I just look like a true programmer. Are you gonna shave your beard? I am. I just can't be bothered right now. And I don't really need to before streaming. I'm thirsty. Yeah, I do have actual water here as well, so. Okay, I'm doing a theme refactor right now. So now there are actual themable variables that you can create themes for the app for with, which has actually made the code a whole lot cleaner because now there's no like light and dark tailwind crap everywhere. It's kind of all done as CSS variables, and I can still change the opacity of these, which is why they're HSL values without the alpha channel, because Tailwind provides that. And there's a little helper function up here that mixes the variable name with the alpha value as a HLSA value. So yeah. So I'm just going through and fixing up all the, like this modal got broken by the, or is like half complete. So I'm gonna fix up the input, I think, which, yeah, see all of this stuff like dark border gray, all these dark styles here just can go entirely. Like you're just seeing firsthand like how much code is gonna get saved by this. Hover right, focus, hover, focus, all the background styles, border, border separator, or app separator. And you can be border app selected. Well, I'm not using these properly right now. Placeholder. Ink dull. So text is ink. So you'll have like text ink dull or placeholder ink dull, and any like text colors or variation of ink dull or ink faint. If I called it text, it would be text dash text. So not here, but because I'm starting a placeholder like up. Didn't I have a text style? I think I got rid of it. Whatever. Wait, is the bundler running? Ignore that glitch. There's a lot of app glitches since I'm in the middle of a refactor. FYI. I change the 1 second. Just gonna move the overlay like somewhere else because it's in the way. That's my face. There we go. Sure, that's better. That stuff is addictive though. I think we're gonna switch to more chill hop. This is a Chrome window, so I can't spin up two of the same app in different in different like light mode, dark mode, because I can only do one dev environment. I suppose I could do two. I don't know if that would work. I think it would close the other one. But yeah, no, this is just this is running in a browser as a Chrome app. So, and it's connecting to Space Drive running as a service on my computer. Whereas this one is, so if I want to restart the back end, it's gonna, like, the back end for this is now off, but the back end for this is still on. If I close this, what was that? Yeah, that's this. This is a browser. If I close this one, it's the whole app, right? And the difference in startup is if I start up the core, and then I start up the website, or the web deployment, it's pretty much instant. But if I start up the desktop app, I have to wait for Rust to compile the actual binary in order to open the app in dev mode. So it's way more efficient to like develop with this than it is to wait for this to compile, which, by the way, I've been doing this. I've been waiting for this to compile most of the development of Space Drive. I knew you could do this, I just didn't want to, I thought it was more complicated than it was, not gonna lie, but it's actually really convenient. But yeah, so, input. Names. So this should be affecting you. Oh, I think I haven't actually changed anything. So BG white, so will be BG app input. I think we have a value for that. If it stays white, then perfect. Look at that. Let's see if it changed on both. Let's get both of them open. Okay, we're actually gonna make this look good from both perspectives now. So I also have the old deployment of Space Drive, which is like, this is the current version with the old theme. So I'm basically going to use this as reference. The input is darker with like gray on the outside. I actually really like that input, so I'm going to make sure I replicate that. That means I have to change the background of the app input, which might actually mean I need to create a few more styles. So I'll make sure this is the right thing. It should be border app. You should be border app border. I'm gonna change the name for that, by the way. I hate it. Wait, this is a hover. Oh no, hover. Yuck. Yo, but what we could do. Focus hover BG white. I'm gonna start again, man. This confuses the hell out of me. Let's start from fresh. Border app. Selected. Oh, and then ring. App. take the border, ring app border. Is it? Oh, it's because focus is ring primary. Alright. Focus ring app border. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so probably I've been for traditional jobs. I worked at cal.com between Notify and Space Drive. It's not like I set out to build things like because I just want to do it this way. Like I'd be happy working as part of a team on another project, but I also feel like it would have to be something I have like enough creative control over, because otherwise I'm gonna get bored, pretty much. So at Cal, that would have been the case. Like I wouldn't have got bored. It would have been like a good case for me to keep going, because you know, I had somewhat creative control over what I was doing. But a lot of the time, I feel like I'd lose that. Although there was another job I was like excited for. I was gonna start on at this like creator credit card company as their React Native lead. That was like a job I was interviewing for, and I would have been in charge of like building and engineering their React Native app from the ground up, which would have been really exciting for me. So like that's the kind of thing that I would have definitely enjoyed. I was also applying. I had a referral, and I was applying at Apple because I really wanted to. They needed a like an Xcode, like someone to work on Xcode and developer tools and stuff like that, which is not really my kind of typical thing. I much more prefer like, but it would be, if I were to ever have gotten that, it would have been like a case of I would have been happy to climb that ladder and work and move on to different projects at Apple if I'd gone the route of being an Apple engineer. The only catch there is I can't talk about it online, so it's like you throw away your chance of streaming and doing anything really outside of your work, because most of the time you're going to want to like actually do like life things, not more work for Twitch stream. So yeah, I really you know, I just feel like I got lucky with Space Drive, because it's not only is it an idea that I really care about, but it's like it's open source and funded, which is like the best possible scenario, because I can stream everything, talk about everything, involve the community, have this whole thing, but also like have the freedom to throw money at whatever problems need like speeding up. So for example, if any of you are good at writing tests, let me hire you. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Which is for real. That's a genuine offer. Anyone here really want to write me some tests? Want to get stuck into writing? It sucks, right? So you've got to be like okay with doing something that sucks, but it's for a cool cause. Like it's for Space Drive. Just, I don't know. No, I'm gonna write. I think the whole team is gonna start writing tests, but at the same time, research that's something that we need to like decide on what test tools we're using. How does it work? I want to know that every the app needs to like do everything from like test it at runtime to individual tested on like tests on like isolated like Rust functions, even to UI testing. I'm less concerned about like UI components, more specifically like testing functionality of the app, and like the presence of UI and like requests and responses. There's so many areas to test. It's like, oh my god, where do we start? But yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling. Let me get back to theming, because that's the important thing right now. It's definitely the color theme. No, it is somewhat important. So I'm going to change the, what is it, vanilla, let's go vanilla dark. Let's change the app input value. So this is like cracked out, but like you're going to go down. Now search is using that too. Doesn't help that search isn't the same style. I know that like that's maybe everything does need to be the same style. Like let's look at the current. Which Space Drive are you? I see double. Okay, See, that's the style of the old search bar. And then that's the style of an input. It's very different. Oh, wait! No, that's not even right. There's input. We should have two things. We should have input and then input focus. No, that's 3 letters and 3 words and I'm avoiding that. Let's just call it focus. Yeah. Now you're 10 and you're 23. Or something. And then focus. I use SCSS because it has a pretty icon. Oh fuck. Okay. That's fine. I gotta restart this as well. I hate that loading thing. I need to talk to Brennan and Oscar about that. It's like lazy loading the entire component, the screen. So you get like this is the base color. When it's on Mac OS, it doesn't have it has a transparency thing. So the entire web view is like transparent, and then you're layering your HTML on top. But the yeah, so ignore that. It just doesn't have a page. Since now the pages control their background, so that we can do things like split the background into 2 when we have like the top bar here. It has to blur in a certain way, so this is actually divided into 2 components, each with their own background, so that we can change it respectively so it blends together with the blur effect. But like on most screens, that means that like the screen by default doesn't have a background. So when you travel to like a component that you haven't, or a page that you haven't been to before, you see that flash right there? That was like the lazy loading of the entire component. It's some weird shit too. Look at this, import loadable. This was added by like Oscar, I think, and it's probably a new cool way to do it, but like it definitely, I don't know what it, I'm trying to work out like what it's obviously like dynamically loading the JS for those screens, I'm gonna guess. So it means the time to load for the app, for just the raw app at the beginning is less, because all it has to do is load the JavaScript that's needed for what you see in view. I'm going to assume that's the benefit of this. The only issue is the flicker, because the entire component is unloaded. You're supposed to use suspense and then use a fallback, but like for the whole component, because this is a screen and we're lazy loading at a screen level. So there has to be a placeholder for loading the entire screen, which means all the UI at the top here, which that UI should never even unload, which leads me to believe that I need to restructure the router because of this lazy loading setup to where the top bar is outside of, but it's only relevant on this screen. So like I said, an entire restructure of the router would be needed if this is going to be viable, because this is, you know, it's not great, whatever. Okay, back to fixing input colors. So, input where you are. What a pickle, indeed. So you are going to be focus, hocus pocus. Oh, also, this variance thing, we can now use... oh, this could be refactored. We're using class variance authority now. So you don't need to do, I don't think we need to do any of this. Variant. I think it's all inferred. I'm going to copy it from button. So you do CVA, and then you just pass the class names. I've done this before, I don't know why I'm looking this up. This isn't that hard. But yeah, we've changed so we can do lots of things now. Like we can do, so if we import TW from utils, which is at UI if you use it outside the UI package, you can do tw .div and then put some like p1 m1 bg app, right? And now this is a component, and you can use that const my component, and this is like a full component that can have like children and props. All the props are preserved, and that just works. So that's a new thing we've added, which is really cool. And this is actually, there's two things that do this. There's Tailwind style components and TW macro. We're not using any of those because TW style components was causing major build issues. It was just a nightmare, and it's actually not type safe on main. And they can fix that, but whatever. It's in a broken state. And then the twin macro thing is like adds a whole like emotion, a whole nother, or style components like a whole nother engine for rendering underneath Tailwind that isn't really, it's only used for them, but like most of the features we don't need, so all that overhead is kind of useless. So we kind of like boiled it down to this can be simply a function, or like, what is it, this is 40 lines of TypeScript, and boom, you've achieved that same thing that both of those packages essentially do. The only difference between our thing and those packages is we don't allow you to do like string interpolated, like, okay, so you receive props here, and you do, because you don't need to do that. This is purely for Tailwind. You're only doing Tailwind stuff in here. You're just wrapping a component in a clean way so you can actually make like your markup look readable. And then if you need to do variants, this is where we get into the next thing that we use. So we can call it my component 2. I could always just spell it wrong on the what? 2, yes, 1, 2, and then you could do CVA, and then something like this, where you have variants now. So the variants that we've got here, default, you'd have default. I think the default variants are at the top, and then you just argue it, right? Oh no, because you can do this. You can make props. You could say. Variant true, sorry. No, that's not how you do that. How does he do it in here? Because there's two ways you can do this. How'd you make this TW function? That was Brendan's magic. And this is on GitHub already, so if you look through, it's not on main, I don't think. Actually, it is on main, it might be on main. It's just utils in the UI repo. It's just a bunch of freaky little, it's really clever, actually. It's using the JSX intrinsic elements, which is like a list of all of the potential like elements that you can do the function on, and it kind of wildcards, so it allows you to just pass in whatever and call a function on it, even though we're not importing like an array of strings or an array of components or whatever. So it's really lit. It just uses JavaScript proxies. But yeah, no, what's great about it too is you can invoke it in multiple different ways. You can invoke it like this, or you could like you could invoke it with as a function. You could say const Jeff equals TW, and then pass in my component, and you're going to style that again now with some more things. So obviously you wouldn't do that in reality. You'd style a different component, but in this case you could style like a radix primitive, and then just add some Tailwind styles and re-export it from your UI package. It's like the cleanest thing. You don't need this extra logic. And then if you combine that with radix's state thing, you could do like radix, or was it radix state Tailwind or something? It's like radix state active, and then like opacity 50, and then that would target like the radix component's active state, which is actually something we're going to do in a second when we're putting the colors back on this component. But yeah, it's really cool, the new stuff that we're doing with the UI. So I'm actually going to use this right now because we're going to change this. So let me have a look at button one more time because I'm learning this as well. Loading, so true. These are so size, medium, variant, default. Okay, yeah. This is like what you pass. So first is the variant. This is the thing of, I think it would be variants. Yes, it is. Variants. That's confusing. So this would be variant. Now this is the name of the prop that you're passing to this component here. Variant. And then you're going to put like, for default. I wonder what you put for default actually. Just default, I guess. Default. And then that would be, okay, so Firstly, let me put what needs to go in here. And this is not my component. This is input styles, like that. And so you put the default things that you need. Let's get this as a. And we could do an array here. Actually, this would be way better. And then you could put things like colors on a different line. And that should eventually, when I give it everything it needs. Yeah, see, you actually have all the input styles down here. Now, this begs the question, do I even need? Oh, that's wild. That's actually wild. I don't need any of this boilerplate now, because I can just build the input with class variance authority alone. Watch this. I'm going to take all of these out of here. And then put them on the default here. Okay, so this has all of the structural stuff. And then the variance is where we override it. And then we're gonna have colors as a second thing, like default colors. And then now I'm wondering how you tie that to I suppose I'd have to still do. So we're using Tauri like in place of Electron, but if you're thinking about like what framework is everything built on, it's not really a framework. The whole stack is kind of like DIY for us. So we built, two of our engineers on the team built two major pieces of our stack. So Prisma Client Rust and RSPC. RSPC is basically handles all of the server and the app together. RSPC links those two together, but it also works in this case where you're using it as a web app connecting to a server running on a machine, whereas this is an all-in-one. This is a web app with a server running in my terminal here. This is the server. This is RSPC is working in both cases just with a different transport layer, and it's sharing types between Rust and TypeScript in a type-safe, fully type-safe, flawless way. So like, it's really cool. So that's a major piece of our stack. And then you have raw Rust, so just pure Rust backend, functions, job system, all the bullshit that makes the app work is just purely Rust. And then you have purely React TypeScript on the other end, which is straight up just a React create React app. That's where we started. Although now it's switched out to Vite and like Vite full stack and monorepo, turbo repo. We use a bunch of different. You can go. It's all open source, but like, yeah, that's essentially what I'm getting at. But Space Drive just got a style update. It's getting one. we're rebuilding the color system at the moment. So it's gonna look a little goofy in parts. This is what it looked beforehand. So we had, it's actually looking pretty decent. With the new components up here, key manager, tag thing, got this here, the hover disappears in this build. It's annoying. But yeah, it's a bit, actually it was starting to fall apart, to be honest. So, yeah, we're basically redoing the way all the styles work. All right, so input styles. It's a desktop kind of thing. Yes, it's an app, right? So it works on desktop, works on web, works on your phone, works on your Android, your fridge. It's a cross-platform app. And then the whole idea is that those apps will talk to each other and share data between them. So it kind of combines all of your devices into like one computer, essentially. I mean, that's a weird way to think about it, but if I was trying to break it down to layman's terms, I guess that's how I would explain it. Yes, it's like a file manager. So it's a file manager, but it has an internal database that it shares between all your devices to turn your devices into one file system. So you can search for a file that's on a hard drive that's not even plugged in, for example. I could like plug in my hard drive, space drive sees it, scans it, I pull it out. I can still browse that hard drive and even look at like the previews of images and see the metadata and even reorganize things, move stuff around, and that hard drive's off, it's not plugged in. I plug it in and then open up my phone and I can now browse that or like do it on my computer. It's like from any perspective you can manage your data, even if that data is not there. So it's kind of it's a weird setup, but it will make a lot of sense when you see it in action with all of the, you know, like tools and little features like to help security and privacy, and yeah, it's kind of a wild concept. It's okay, all I know is exactly, yeah, precisely. All right, this pretty sure that I still have to do this forward ref, but I just remove all this variant stuff, so that input styles would go here. So I still have to pass in props, but oh no, I have to pass props into here as well. Yeah, like that. Okay, so I do still need the boilerplate, but the cool part is all of this is replaced. Even the size here is just replaced with that input style props now. And then this variance, you shadow, have I got you twice? That could have been a bug. Shadow, I guess shadow's here, so we have that twice too. Focus, border app selected, that's a color, but also probably a, yo, actually colors can just go on variants. I think default should work. So it's BG app input, focus input selected, focus ring app border. All of this would go border app border, border ring, and placeholder ink dull is probably a style too. We can go here. So we can get rid of this variance now, and we don't need this variance interface. Forward ref is gonna now take in let me have a look how, I think button is a forward ref as well. Forward ref, oh god, what? I do need all this crap. Button base props. Oh, so it infers the styles here. Link button props. So I think I just need this and to adapt that.
I have nothing.
So variant type of styles, which would be type of input styles. And variant props is going to come in from class variance authority. We don't need this tailwind util right now. And then you're just going to change this button to input.
I have nothing.
Input base props is now here. Oh, and yeah, I do actually need to do this for text element too, for text input. Is text area? Can't remember. Text area. Oh, and it takes input styles as well, just the same. Oh, and this is area like that. Ha! I guess that's how they want to do it, so let's do it that way. Text area props. Input base props. Oh, and then now I need to actually make sure the variants have the correct thing, so we're now going to have variants, and we're going to also have size. Small, medium, text base, that kind of thing. And then what's wrong with you? Input base props. I probably need to destructure size from this. and then pass input size to this, and take variance as well. Variant. I have to grab everything that needs to go to this and pass it to that, so the types line up, basically. And then props.class name. That's probably what the button does. Where does class name come from? That class name should be there. Doesn't make any sense. It's not even a progressive web app. Yeah, it's like it's no more than like Discord isn't really a I mean, I guess that's not really. This is a progressive web app when you run it in like a Chrome browser. But like you know, if you it's so much as if you account Discord and Slack and VS Code to be PWAs. It's the exact same technology that powers that. Except not the exact, because we use Rust and Tauri, which make our bundle size and our overhead like 90% smaller. Okay. Oh, but this class variance authority is actually gorgeous. This feels like a secret weapon that no one else has. HTML input element. No href needed. Just class name. I suppose I can just specify. No, because it should extend. Input base props extends. And React HTML and oh, it's input props, not base props. That's where I'm going wrong. Yeah, and then this. Oh, input base. And this can extend input base props as well, but as a text area, and we don't need the href. Okay, now I'm actually doing. No, I'm like understanding what I'm doing now. Text area props. You can come here. Oh. Perfecto mundo. Look at that. And we have this label, which honestly, it's whatever. This can just be that. Yo, HTML slug. The fuck point? Oh, I see. That's kind of an irrelevant component, but whatever. I'm gonna leave it there. Text area probably needs to have the same thing done, although this probably isn't needed, but like I'm gonna do it anyway. Size. Oh, see, I already structured it out. All the props get passed to it, so this actually only needs size and variance. Doesn't need all the rest because that gets added on anyway. CLSX. Props class name. Yeah, inside CLSX. Text area input. Okay, dokie. Okay. So this default. I don't know if default's working. Let me check on key manager. Key mounter, actually. Input variant. Most of the time I don't specify. Yeah, see? Alright, this is the problem. I need to look up how to do defaults with this. Wait. Just hoping. It's like Tailwind. No. There's probably a way to do it, because true and false work just for having passed the value in. What are we gonna call it? Yeah, I should probably... Oh, we might already... I think I already have that in there. Yeah, so we use React Native for our mobile app. And Electron, of course I thought about Electron, but Electron has, like I said, a larger overhead by about 90% in bundle size and memory usage. Plus I wanted to use Rust, and in order to use Rust with Electron, you have to kind of sidecar your Rust binary, which is possible, very much possible. It's just, you know, wouldn't it be nice to just do it all in Rust? And Tori allows that while being lightweight, secure, developed by people who are from IPFS. So they're big on security, big on like really great software. So it's honestly, Tari's an incredible project. And it came when I was thinking. Well, I'd actually already prototyped Space Drive in Electron very loosely a couple times. And when I found Tari, I just thought, okay, this is perfect. You know, I was learning Rust anyway, so kind of fit. Yeah, so what I do with long tailwind strings is I'll mostly do stuff like this. So like with CVA, it's great because I can just break it up into lines. You know, I don't even need to be using backticks for this, by the way. I don't know why I'm doing that. And this is clean, right? This is like how most of our components are going to look now, with the markup actually being like simple. And if we need just a single component, we, I mean, you would do like tw.div, mydiv, or m2, right? And then you would, if that was like a kind of a, it's best used as like in a component where you don't need to pass any props. It's just a straight up scaffolding block, and it would be much nicer to see it in your JSX with a name. You just do shit like this, and it's like really great. We actually wrote this function. This is just you can steal this from the Space Drive repo. It's a very simple little factory function to append class names onto a reactive. So yeah, and then if you need variants, you need to create a component that takes props. Easy. You define the props and the variants using class variance authority. And if you need a single component, you use stuff like this. And then eventually, you know, if you, as this adopts throughout your project, you'll find your code is so much more readable, so much more maintainable, and the tailwind is not like big blocks of green sludge, essentially. So like, you know, this is like hitting the limit, right? Where you've got 2 lines worth of tailwind that has no separator. But the beautiful thing of it is you can just slap it in an array and then comma separate it, and it stays as a block. And then you can categorize it. So then you can put your physical styles up here and then your color styles down there, for example. And this is not how I've done it, but you get the idea. Yeah, no, the prettier auto sorting of tailwind classes is probably one of my biggest pet peeves I think I've ever had. There's nothing worse than you're editing a class and you hit save to see the hot reload, and then the class fucking disappears from beneath your cursor and is now over there, and you're looking at your thing, so you're just like, no, that's actually a 7, backspace 4, and then you look back and you just edited some other class. It's wild. But yeah. Hey Bearded, what's up, my guy? Thanks, Orlin. I don't normally have it, so this is a special occasion. Not really a special occasion, but it's a rarity. But yeah, all right. Anyway, so yeah, I need to figure out how to get a default value with class variance authority. I'm sure Brendan would know, but Brendan's not here. Default variance. Oh, perfect. Nailed it. Ah, look at that, just like that. Magic. Cool. That's so cool. Okay, now I can fix up the I wonder, can this be an array? Yes. No. Yes! Yes, perfect. So now I'm going to take the border styles, put them on a separate line to base colors, just to break it up a little bit. Brain dead moment. Yeah, see, look at that. That's way, way better. So you can have border, your basic colors. So this is the ink and the background. But I'm also going to have other things. So BG app input, I think should be darker. I think I need to restart the compilers in order for any changes to the Tailwind config to take effect. Okay. So BG app input, focus, BG app. What do we add? Focus. Yay! Look at that. Okay, cool. So I recall as well now when focus is border app, we should do border app, what's a dark one? The inner, no, let's do black actually. Wait, hear me out. Border app black. And that didn't work. Change blue. Oh, it's not at black, that's why. It's just black. There it is. Okay, cool. Now that is exactly like, somewhat like it used to be. And the cool thing about this is I can just do /70 to get what I'm looking for here. The only annoying thing is if you choose an alpha shade, then that's not going to be configurable by your themer. So anything you put in your actual code is not able to be customized when building a new theme. So you got to use these things like this sparingly. But yeah, that's cool. So now onto the select, just so I can get. Actually no, I'm going to fix the button first. I'm kind of unsure why this button. Oh, primary variant. There is no primary variant. There is a primary variant. BG primary. Oh, what's up, Brennan? I was just telling everybody about the magic of class variance authority. I've also upgraded the input component. Unless, wait, hold up. Oh wait, did you do that as well? I hope not. I saw something actually in now my memory of you messaging me. Did you message me? I've never used Java. I have written a Minecraft block plugin once, but oh, wait. Okay, yeah, it was a drop. Okay, drop down refactor. Oh, perfect. All right, yeah. So I'm doing the input. You did the drop down. I've done the input now. Oh, I need to get rid of single Jeff. That's not needed either. Okay. Why are you like that? Why are you not primary? PG primary, text white. Hover. Dark. Oh, it's not primary. It's accent.
I have nothing but respect for you.
Yeah. There we go. She's back. I forgot I changed the name to accent. Okay. Now to the select menu.
I have nothing but
Okay.
respect for you.
This is easy. Okay. Shadow. Black. 40. You got it. Maybe too much. 20. How's that? Just subtle. Okay. Right. So, firstly, I'm gonna comment these out because they're not being used for now. They don't show up anyway. Oh, they're needed? Yikes. How about you just flexing? Alright, now where the fuck is that shadow? I'm going to change app border to something else. I'm going to keep mentioning that until it's clear that I'm going to fix it. Oh, yo! Now the radix hover thing works. Well, isn't that weird how it breaks? That's so weird. There's something very strange going on with that.
I have nothing but respect for you.
Yeah, see, it breaks out my whole app. That's so weird. I think I'm gonna change that. Yeah, I think app input. This needs a variable change. I'm bringing down to 20. Yeah, that's better. Maybe 18. No, because that fucks the border too much. What about if I bring the border just down to 27? Yeah, 26. Yeah, that's subtle. I like that. Ring app border 30. Oh, that is nice. Cool. Now back to the key mounter. I need to add a little bit of. Yo, so here's a cool example. We can take this category heading and say const key heading, and it would be equal to TW dot, oh, and then category heading with our own margin bottom 1. Literally, that's it. That's all we're adding onto this. We can import that from our UI repo. And so now the key heading can replace the category heading, which is used, well, it's used once, but it's used throughout the key manager. So I'll move that component somewhere else, but you get the point. So now I can see when I'm looking at the JSX, here's the key heading. Oh, that makes more sense, but here's where I style it. It's at the top. You know, it's minimum boilerplate around actually defining this, but it allows you to restyle reusable components very quickly with just the tailwind. No class names, no creating a function, no passing props around. Straight to the point. Just write it and have it be clean. Super in love with that. Need to fix that weird select bug that I'm having, but okay. Oh, and also great opportunity to fix this up. So the key mounter. First, let's go up to the key manager and let's see what we're dealing with here. I think tabs need to be upgraded.
I have nothing
Yeah.
but respect for you.
You're not text white. No text white needed. Never need to style the text. And then border is going to be border app border. Yeah, okay. Or maybe separator. No. Divider. I have 3 different kinds of. I think border's the best one. It's a little weird. It doesn't really sit right in this because of the blur effect, but it'll do. And then the trigger, radix stay active, BG primary, it's BG accent. And then radix state active is now going to be text white as well. Yes. Okay. And we can customize the white color as well per theme, which is really cool if you want to just slightly off white all of the white stuff. Yeah, I'm having tremendous amount of fun with the new styling system. It is, holy, I'm like just, I can't wait until, I mean, pretty much most of the app has now been refactored into this. And it really is quite nice to work with. What do you mean the lack of IntelliSense for class names? My God, I got IntelliSense for the class names. Wait, is it, flex. Okay, maybe it's not here. I had it, I just enabled it by the way, because I added, in the settings JSON, I added this, which actually works for this works for CVA. I can copy this, I can actually duplicate this here and fix it up, and this will be TW. Yeah, actually I'm going to just copy the regex they have on, there's another regex somewhere else that allows that to work. You can easily set it up. I'm going to do it later though. But yeah, we got regex on CVA, but not this yet. Just a VS Code thing. How do I? All right, yeah. This is where we're going to need to customize the way certain colors look in the light theme. It looks really great in the dark theme, as always. It's usually how it goes. It looks gorgeous in dark, awful on white, but we're gonna sort it out. So yeah, that's another place where we're doing the specific shadow. Is kind of a bad idea. I should do a shadow color. Not black. Yeah, no, I shouldn't do that. That's wrong. I get rid of that note. This note is wrong. It's not the right way to do it. perfect case for the faint text. And then sync with library. You're going to be BG app box maybe, or selected. Oh, box works. Might be a bit too light actually, it's too selected. Selected doesn't seem too much different than box. Vanilla light. Box is 105. Oh wait, no, it's definitely not box. I should keep it on selected. So, oh, that's sidebar selected. I need app selected. It's 80. Box is 98. Bring selected down to. These should all be different, to be honest. But I'll get to that. Oh, I see. You're that. You're that too. Nice. Let me steal that from you. I'm not sure about this ending part. I wonder if Copilot just got it right. Yeah. Wait, no. No, it didn't. Whatever. I'll come back to that. Oh, yo, this needs the class variance authority refactor, but I don't want to do it. I do want to do it. I kind of do want to do it, but oh, this is a shitty component. All right. Still can style it though. Wait. All right, I'll refactor. I learn everything I know from YouTube tutorials, so it's kind of like I don't want to say go watch YouTube, but at the same time, that's what I did. So YouTube. And follow along the tutorials and Google everything. You think this little guy? Oh, you mean all this and then the TW part? I'm gonna assume that's what you mean and try it out. Oh, just this is a whole kind of regex right here. I'm not getting it yet. There's one, I could just use the one that Tailwind Style Components tells you to do. Tail. Oh yeah, it's this. Oh, all of them. Okay, I'll take all of them. Yeah, because I'm not using that library, but we're using the exact same syntax as that library, so. Did I do that right? Oh, I suppose there's no formatting in here. Oh no, there is. Oh god, what did I do? Let's see here. Alright. I'm just confusing myself. Fuck, I did it again. Does this not allow... Alright, I guess... Is this an array of arrays? See, in this one it's different, but this is an array of arrays. So I'm like, if I copy that and do it top level, assuming it can take an array too, or I just do this, make a single array, but I'm still having trouble doing that. What am I doing wrong? Oh, it's already wrong. I'm having bracket nightmare. This is what I define as hell. Syntax hell. Bracket purgatory. You gonna work now? You gonna work? You gonna work? You gonna work? You gonna work? How about you work? Oh, yes, I'll take it. Okay, we're good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and this key bind that's really cool. Code Alt 0, Alt 0, Shift 0. Got it. There it is. All right, clean up import. It's there goes my AirPods. That's so jarring when that happens. Which is the case for them. There's like a fucking stray AirPod here, and I don't know where the other one is. This one's dead. Charge. I'm gonna guess this one. You still a full set of AirPods? Oh, you don't seem to be responding. Yeah, that's a no, chief. Yeah, you are. You're home. Just not gonna, I think, have to lock and unlock. Helpful little UI thing we do. That is also not helpful at the same time. Alright, this is correct. That's correct. And then you
I have
go in
nothing
here,
but
put your friend
respect
missing.
for you.
When I find your friend, I'm gonna put your friend with you. Use wired AirPods. Great idea. You mean headphones? You know, there's like commotion happening outside, but it's far too cold on the balcony. Holy shit, it is it's like proper Canada freezing right now. Oh, I hate that. Do I have coffee? Please tell me I have coffee. I'm gonna make coffee. realize the music is gone. My bad. Turn this down too, because oh, that's so vexing. All right. What's up, weather developer? You not see me in the back? I was just making a coffee. If you didn't see me, I was standing still. I was like standing with my hands over the over the hob because it's cold. I got the heating on and it's warm, but it's like it's just still cold. I don't know. But cup of coffee will sort it out. It has. How you doing, my guy? I'm just working on theming. It's really fun. Now I've adopted Tailwind with CSS variables for the theme structure. It's actually like really satisfying. And so I'm going through the app right now, like every JSX component, and making sure it's got the right styles and light and dark theme. And this is a Chrome progressive web app, and this is the actual Rust app. The only reason I'm running them both is because, well, I need to test both themes at the same time. So that was the best I could come up with. But yeah, no, we made quite a lot of progress behind the scenes, especially with Jake doing all the encryption stuff, Brendan on sync, and Oscar on networking, and then Ericsson on the virtual file system, and Utku on mobile. Yeah, we've really it's really been great seeing everything like come together, and like I've kind of been delegating everybody's tasks a lot better, and so like everybody has their own section that's like their thing, and it's like, you know, each person is individually like hitting their milestones and like moving the app forward, and it's really satisfying. The joys of an organized team versus versus what I was used to prior. All right, so oh yeah, the input. That's where we're starting with.
I have nothing. Respect.
Because it looks, I got it looking great in dark theme, but horrible in light theme, which is typical. And that's probably why. Let's start with that. What on earth? The only thing I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to have all the default styles on one line, and then the focus or override styles for states on another line. So your ring at border, and then focus. Oh wait, why is this working? Oh, because I did it specifically for. That makes perfect sense. So I have to give it agnostic styles here. What would make sense? See, they're fundamentally different. In desktop, it's like in dark theme, it's like inset, so it's going inside. Maybe we should have proper another key for the inner. What would that be? What would the equivalent be in light theme? I guess we figure out what looks good first, and then yeah. Oh, you like the light theme? God, wow. Wasn't expecting that. As part of the task, also RSPC and PCR is on the side. So we're in this like unique position where it's like I require. Okay, so like, I need those libraries to be in a working, maintained state and to have features that I need. That's my interest in those libraries. So it's like if they're developing features that I'm not going to be using, and like doing just general kind of expansion for like the purpose of the library reaching more people, then that's free time stuff. But if it's something I need from Prisma Client Rust or I need from RSPC, then they can work on the clock for that. But it's pretty much like I mean, that's how I'm thinking about it. But as it goes, they just kind of work on whatever they work on, and so long as they hit their milestones, it's good. I want to. I'm trying to ramp up sync, or they're trying to ramp up the speed of sync and P2P issues with that. Of course, is that they, everything kind of needs to be in place for that to be integrated with our stack, and so that's kind of what they're working on at the moment. But there's also, you can see the progress to what they're working on, because we had it all merged in with main recently in like a not working state, but like I just wanted to see the code all there together, and maybe like that way it would kind of encourage it to be like linked in together a little faster. But it was nice to see that the PRs are getting like months old, like the actual branches. So it was good to get them off the branch and then focus on doing like incremental updates towards a stable version of those features. But yeah, okay. So this is what we're approaching now, is like the problem that you have with theming when you're dealing with a color that has to be vastly different in dark theme than it does light theme. That's when you aren't having an individual thing where you can specify the differences. I wonder, so in light theme, do we have any dark colors here? Or no, dark theme. We need like something close to black that can be white in light theme, which is none of this. So border divider. I'm very tempted. Okay, we haven't even changed the colors for this yet. Very tempted to set like divider to be like, we should use divider for this. Set it down to be like 5, right? And then we have that anymore. Yeah, okay, there we go. Focus, border, app divider. And now that should give me that darker color, and then in light theme, it doesn't. It gives me white. So that means now in light theme, I can pick a better divider. So it's not sidebar, it's app divider. And the app divider is 100%. That makes it basically white. So let's bring it down to the gray range. So we also need a focus border at, no, ring is at border. That's 94, that's why we're barely able to see it there. Yeah, because it's already got a 30% on that. So maybe the border is not the best color to use here. We need like a darker one again. Selected is potentially a better option to use for the ring than border. Ring app selected. It might look slightly different in dark theme. Still looks good in dark theme. More noticeable in light theme. Perfect. See, that's what I mean. That's how we do. Now we can also maybe change the divider's opacity, bring that down. Doesn't need to be as deep. It just softens it a bit. Looks better in both. Yeah. What are you guys working on? So this isn't heavy code. This is more just styling. So I'm working on the themes, so the dark and the light theme. I've only just integrated a good theming system, so I'm basically having to go out and remove all of the stuff from our old theming system and put the new theming system in, which is, it's not really much different, it's just the colors. So before it was like, we'd specify like gray and then a range of gray, like 100, gray 100, gray 200, gray 300, and so forth up to 900. And we even did like 950 as well, so it would be like 900, or it would be like 200, 250, 300, 300, 350, etc. And then specify specific colors for dark. So we're just changing that around now to where you specify one kind of color for each element, and then you specify the light and dark variations of that color in the theme, which is basically to support support something that's like easily themable. So this would be the theme that people can change. Essentially, we could even make a little theme editor in the app with how easy these variables are able to theme the entire application. especially because all of the alpha, so you can have many variations of the same color layered on top of each other, and changing that color will change all of the opacity variants as well. Oh, the themes for Space Drive. But yeah. How's the theme determined saved? It'll just be like probably a JSON file later on that the app will load, that you can submit, and then it will generate this SCSS. Or we could just give an SCSS or a CSS file. Yeah, that's probably a better way to do it, not JSON. Yeah, just make it a CSS file with these variants like this. And so all you either have to do is paste this into a text box in the app or load a file somewhere. I'd probably go with the loading a file because it's cleaner. And it just load in that theme. And then we'll ship the app with like 5 or 6 different themes. And then people come out and make their own. I'm thinking that it should change. The background should change. So when it's selected, focus is BG app focus. And I'm supposing that dark doesn't have BG app focus. Oh, it does. Is this dark? It is. App focus 10%. Come up to 20. That's not what I was trying. I'm trying to do light theme. Light theme app focus. Oh, it doesn't exist. And bring you down. Come back. There we go. Okay. Ugly, but you get the point. 97. Bring up the hue a little bit towards the blue. You can maybe make it up to 15 here. You can see it on a different kind of monitor. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch things around here. I'm going to say input goes to, input focus is going to be 100, and by default is going to be 97. Gross, but potentially not if I ramp up the, I'm going to struggle to ramp up the border. That's a precise value.
I have nothing.
No, I've not watched a course